Welcome to the Lowe DOWN, your go-to podcast for all things the floor. I'm Zach A. Trees, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host,
Devin B. Road Trips here, ready to break down every strategy, surprise, and shocking elimination from the premiere of The Floor Season 3.
But today we have a special guest filling in for Terry, straight from the floor herself, Contestant Noell. Noell, welcome to the Lowe DOWN.
Well, hey guys, thank you for having me. I didn't realize I was replacing Terry. I thought I was going to be joined with Terry. What's up with that?
Terry had some issues come up, and hey, now you're here, and we're going to make the best of a great situation, because it is not a bad situation that you're here on the floor with us on the Lowe DOWN. And so stick with us, because today we're going to cover all the biggest moments, getting Noell's insider's perspective, and of course, giving you the Lowe DOWN on the floor. But first, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and all places where podcasts are found to keep up with your favorite contestants. But let's get into the premiere. That was absolutely insane. 100 contestants on the floor, and I just want to break down the numbers. And I'm going to break down these numbers to you guys. I have my handy dandy notebook. Of course, we had 8 duels.
Prepared.
Oh, I'm trying to be prepared. 8 duels on the floor. The largest deficit of time between duels, 32 seconds. The smallest deficit of time, 2 seconds. We'll go into that battle there. The largest amount of answers correct, 12. I won't go into the least amount because that just makes people feel bad. And I'm not here in the business of making people feel bad. Of course, Logan won 3 of the floor tiles. Here is a crazy stat. Only on this premiere episode. Out of the 8 duels, let me count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 experts lost their challenge duels.
Ooh. I think Devin should have matched his category. All those numbers.
And the last number I want to end with, and we're going to lead into Noell's insight.
Yeah.
Noell and Logan's duel.
Yeah.
Noell has 7 correct and 4 passes. Logan has 7 correct and 4 passes.
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't know?
When you're playing the game, when you're up there dueling, you don't know how many she's. Let's go back. So first of all, I am the expert in children's literature. Okay, I have too many books to count in my house. I have books for myself, books from just books everywhere. And Logan, she wins against Jordan, right? And then she competes. She stays on the floor or stays up at the podium and competes against Nikki and Gartney. And I saw that light coming to me and I said, now what she call my name? And she did. She said children's literature. And I was ready. The thing about me, I stay ready, right? So I had it in my gut feeling that I was going to be in the first episode. And so she calls me up.
Oh.
And I said, Lord, she didn't know who she was coming against. So a little bit of background on me. I am an expert in children's literature, but I'm an expert in a lot of other things as well. So I wanted to kind of come off easygoing, look like stay-at-home mom, whatever that looks like, right? I had my pearls. I had my orange flowy dress. I felt like if I came in my suit and, I would be a bit too intimidating. And I didn't want to come across as that. I'm a girl's girl. I say hello to everybody and I'm nice and I am nice and I'm just here to have a good time, right? That was my persona. That's what I wanted to
On their
present.
guard and then attack.
I wanted to let everyone's guard down.
No, it's funny, Noell. I'm hearing you talk. I took the exact opposite approach. I literally went on the Reddit pages. It was like, what's the most intimidating clothes I could wear so people don't. You probably interacted with me. I probably gave up my anonymous status by
I
giving
literally just joined Reddit the other day. So
Oh,
I
okay.
did zero research in terms of like the strategy component. I was excited about the opportunity and I said I was just going to have fun and I would be a silent killer. When, if you notice the floor placement, Congress is in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a law degree and
Ooh.
I'm a public servant. And I said, huh, I think I know what they're trying to do here. And so if the randomizer fell on me, I was taking Congress down,
It's good
okay?
strategy.
And I was going to work my way around the board. But that is not what happened. So fast forward, Logan calls on children's literature. And I said, fine. Did my research. We are told we are to fill in the blank of the missing word for the title. So when
Mm-hmm.
I studied not only the title, I studied the author, I studied the artwork of the book, I studied everything related to children's literature, the year it was published. I was going in, guys. So when I see the book up there and the artwork is totally different, I said,
That
oh
threw
my
me too.
gosh, it changes it changes how you think, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to be quick with it. You still need to be quick. That's okay. So you said she passed on 4 and got 7 correct. I passed on 4 and got 7 correct. Now, what
Yeah.
happened with Logan, she passed a lot quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, I'm a win. I got her because I had my all of mine correct at that point. And then it switched to me, and I said,
Hair,
pass,
hair, hair.
pass, pass. And my strategy, if it didn't come to me right away, I'm passing. Because if I
Yeah.
spend too much time ruminating on what it is, I would lose time. I would rather lose the 3 seconds on the pass than 3 or 5 seconds trying to figure out. And then I'm in my head, and that is a losing battle for me. So it didn't
So you
come
want me to break it
quickly
down?
enough.
You want me to break it down? Zach, you ready for this?
I'm
Noel, you
ready.
ready for this?
Lay it on me.
Noel gets a question right. Logan gets a question right. Noel gets a question right. Logan passes. Logan passes. Logan gets a question right. Noel gets a question right. Logan passes. Logan gets a question right.
You feel the
Noel passes.
intensity?
Noel passes. Noel gets a question right. Logan passes. Logan gets a question right. Noel passes. No. Then Logan didn't miss any more the rest of the time. So it is. And when you get that rhythm, I knew you probably was feeling in your bones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they just passed 2 times in a row, got one right, passed again. I'm in here like swimwear. And just imagine with just that one victory, how the game would have been different.
Yep.
As you do. So we can ask this. Were you planning to stay or
Yeah.
were you going to go back
Big
to the floor?
question. You said you were going after Congress.
Oh,
Were
I
you
was
gonna
going
attack them right then and there?
had I won, I would have gone after Congress. Why would I miss that opportunity and go back
Yeah.
to and it's interesting because I would have had the most territory. I would have won the 20,000.
True.
Or, and so this is really interesting. I could have just waited, but the randomizer could have again gone a different way, and then I'm back on the floor. I'm competing against
Mm-hmm.
someone else to keep control of it and my keep the control in my hand. I go against Congress, and if I win, I would have won likely.
Of course.
Of course.
I go against Marvel. Oh, I was peeping the board. I
Whoa,
said,
whoa,
So
whoa.
so let me ask you a question. Was your plan to go after the time boost if you could have gotten there?
no. My plan was to remain in control for as long as possible, with the assumption that I knew more than that individual in that category.
All right.
Wait a
Period.
sec. Wait a second. Did you hear what she just said, Zach?
I
I
think
did.
Zach missed it.
Zach, she
Marvel.
said she was gonna go for Marvel.
I heard Marvel. I was hoping to get Marvel, but that was like on like opposite
Yeah,
sides,
it
like
was
as
really
far as
far
for
from
me.
you.
But
I was
I'm impressed. You got
excited.
children's
I was
literature,
excited
Congress,
about my
Marvel.
placement on the floor.
And I think if you had went back to the floor as you watched the episode, the next spot of ice cream was so far away from you that they wouldn't even touched you, and you would have just been chilling.
Yeah.
Just been chilling, at least till episode 2.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens then? Who randomizes next? Because all these decisions are crazy. I must be remiss to the people. Here are our duels of the night. First duel was pantry items, followed up by pets, then ancient history, mountains, home decor, gardening, children's lit, and ice cream. Which of those duels would you have most likely wanted to participate in, other than the one that was clearly the one you was already in?
Do
I
it.
think I
So,
told Noel's this. I would have tore you up in children's lit, dog.
you know what?
That was hard.
I want to
So
say
much
a lot of
harder.
people told me that, including Zach. I think
I,
that was one of
I,
the first things you said to me, Zach. You said, "Oh, I could beat you in that." I said, "Oh, you think
yeah.
so?"
I, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, I'm at my two kids. I'm at their reading level. That's all I read. So between that and Marvel, I would have loved your spot up there. I probably would not have done too well at Congress, but Marvel and Children's Lit. But it was much harder than I thought it would be. I would
Yes.
have missed every single one that you missed.
Mm.
I don't think I would
Even
have gotten.
even playing it back because on the couch watching at home, of course I didn't remember. I did better sitting at home
Yeah,
from the comfort of my couch than
yeah. You
I
don't have the
did
lights. You
on.
don't have the people. It's the intensity is a lot less.
You know what else is interesting? Watching the mountain duel really scared me. I said, "Oh my gosh. Am I really ready?" Because I would not have done well at all.
Ditto.
Surprisingly, on that one, I feel like I knew more than some of those guys on there on that duel. I don't know why. I was a geology major for a short time in college,
Yeah.
so rocks. But that I think that was probably more for the puns, anyways.
You get your rocks off, huh?
Hey, hey, geology rocks.
You're ready. Oh my God. You're right. I'm just imagining us on the floor, and the very first duel is pantry items. It landed on Lisa. Like, so I'm thinking from my perspective,
Hmm.
audience, America, talking to you right now, we are assigned our numbers. Maybe the day before we start shooting or the day of. I can't remember quite exactly. It's all a blur. And I remember when I got my number 46, and I was like, huh, I'm in the killing zone. I'm going to be where all the fun and action is going to be. And when it lands right by Lisa, who's literally diagonal from me, I'm like, and my death becomes now. It begins now. My friends and family can see me slowly die up here, and then to see pantry items. And I was like, I could do pantry items. And then I don't remember what it was. Capers? Was it capers? Or something was on
Papers.
that screen. I'm like, I don't know what that
Mhm.
is.
That's an
Uh-oh.
ugly piece.
I knew every pantry item,
You knew
Yeah.
every single one of them.
every single one, including flour.
And,
What's
well,
interesting?
yeah.
What's interesting with what you kind of mentioned, the first real randomizer was the placement of us on that board, because prior to that, you've got 100 different categories to think about, right? And then once you're placed, it's almost too late to say, "Oh, I should have studied whatever that was."
Yep.
Like, why did I waste my time with Congress? I'm on the other
Hmm.
side of the board.
Oh
Right.
man, that
Until
is the
it's time
beauty
to
of it.
actually study for it. It's interesting. Yoga was behind me,
Mhm.
and I studied yoga. And also, I studied Muppets. A lot.
Oh, the puppets. Oh
Puppets.
man,
That's what it was. Puppets.
it
I
was so
studied
far
that
away
one
from
a
you.
lot. It
That was
was. It
so
was.
far, and that's the crazy thing, Zach. You're right. Our random placement on the floor. You get your 100 categories to study. You know yours, and then you're surrounded by like, oh, okay. So let's go back to that moment when you looked at the floor the first time. What were the 4 categories around you?
So in front of me was Congress, to behind me was yoga, to my left was Nikki, that was gardening,
Oh my
and to
God,
my
so
right, eras? I don't know. I don't remember.
oh, I forgot about errors. I forgot that was a thing.
That was a hard. I
Don't
didn't
quote
know
me
if they
on
meant
that.
like actual eras, like Paleozoic, like, or did
Don't
they
quote me
mean
on that. Do not
like
quote me on that.
you know, it could have been the eras tour. I don't know. I had no clue. I saw eras. I was like, my geology kicked in. I was like, it's rocks. It's length of time.
Oh man. So I do have a question. I know we want to maximize our time. Quickly, both of you guys, what was your highlight of the night?
Honestly, for me, getting a pun on 3 puns back to back on national television right after the Super Bowl. Like, forget the competition. I won. Uh, that was my dream. I made the producer laugh. They couldn't even cut that out, and that was my highlight. I didn't. I was like, I forgot that the board even touched that side. So that was my highlight.
Noel?
Man, I looked amazing. Shout out to the makeup artist. What? I looked amazing in my walk. I'm pretty self-aware, so I know me, right? I'm 44
Yeah,
now. So I know me, but to see me and to see that twirl and that walk, I said, let's go. So
I was scared I was gonna trip at walking around anywhere. I'm like, we're on this giant TV. I'm like, are there cords? Am I tripping over stuff? So the fact that you were
yeah,
able to put in a little spin action, that's intimidating. You can let down everyone's guard all you want, but that's like, oh, she's got moves up there.
No, no,
thank
my
you.
highlight was
What's that?
Madeline's big brooch. That was my highlight of the night. I was like, man, look at that flower. I'm not
That
messing with that
brooch was
lady.
the 101st contestant
That
on the
was
floor.
not
Oh
all
my
heroes wear
goodness.
capes. Some wear brooches.
She needs to start a business selling brooches because what? Madeline's brooches.
Madeline
That
brooches. I think that was the MVP of the night. Madeline's
Yes.
brooch.
that was the master brooch. Like I don't know if I've ever seen one that big.
Oh, it's
Oh man.
fabulous. I loved
Oh,
it.
it was the star.
And I do want to celebrate. Zach, you were my highlight. I'm not gonna lie. This is bromance real quick, Noel. I gotta let my man cook. I was like, he's been saying this whole time, Noel, to me and to Terry and to anyone listen, I'm just here for the puns. I'm just here for the puns. And I was like, okay, that's just a thing this man says. And then to see him on national TV dropping some puns, I'm like, oh, let my man cook.
Let
Let
her
him
cook.
cook.
Love
Do
it.
you know how many people I got a text message from? They were like, trees? And I was like, but do you know how many puns that has? Like, forget the complication because, strategy, the best defense is a tree fence. But the puns, uh, there's so many, you know?
Oh
Zach, you
my
are awesome. You're the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you.
I will say, when I first met you, I said, he has an interesting personality. This
Huh?
is going to be interesting. And then when I met Devin, I said, is he Southern? He's a slow talker. I hope he knows he needs to speak faster.
That's how you get them, Zach.
That's true.
Hey, look, lull them to sleep, and they don't realize what you're
And
on.
Terry, I met him at briefing, and just a sweet guy, my fellow Midwestern.
He's a big teddy bear.
Hmm.
And so now that we've had the premiere episode in the books, this is our rapid fire question before we wrap this up because we're so happy that you've filled in for our Terry, our terror bear, as we like to call him, or I like to call him. Who do you think is going to win the floor? Because this is something we can ask everybody now that they're gone. You have no idea. Who do you think is going to win the floor? Who did you think was going to win the floor as you left?
So, oh, as I left, because first of all, I thought I was going to win because I'm a winner. Um, David, he's a competitor, and he was very intimidating.
Yeah.
But also Mark. I met Mark in a taxi from the airport, and I believe his category was CEOs
Fortune
Yep.
500.
and Fortune
Yeah.
500. That's it. And I said, "Ooh, he
Oh,
knows his stuff. He's
He
probably going to
put,
be a
put it on the
force."
big board, Zach. We're gonna keep a running tally. So far we have David
yeah.
as a winner pick and Mark. And people haven't even met Mark, which is cool. You get to know about Mark, and that's how someone to look out for.
He was
Yeah.
always well put together, man. He like for someone that had Fortune 500, like he was. I feel like he kind of looks the part.
Mhm. And
It's
My
he's disciplined. I saw him
yeah,
working out. I said, "Oh, he's disciplined."
But yeah, talking about Mark, I think that man was playing mind games because he invited me out to drinks the very first night. I'm like, no, 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 sir. I'm not drinking with you. You're trying to get me off my A game. It is not happening. Not today. Not ever. And no, and no, no.
my biggest question as it ended in my territory: who is she going after next?
Oh, yes. Who do you think, Noel? Is on you. You
Does
are a
she come up the
guest.
trees?
Or
You
does she
know,
go back to the floor?
Does she go back to the floor, or does she try and take someone else?
I think probably if it it's just, it's so intense, right? I think she goes back to the floor
Yeah,
just to
Uh,
play the long game.
Back to the floor. Our last question for you, Noel. Describe your experience in 3 words.
Exhilarating, fun. I'm sorry.
and silence,
Life changing.
undescribable.
Life changing. Life changing. Everyone give a big round of applause for Noel. We're so happy you're here. I know you're going to enjoy the rest of the season. It was happy to met you and be a part of this big thing we call the Floor family. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you
so
for
we
having me.
are the lowdown where you get your down low on the floor. I am Devin B. Road trips helping to navigate through all the strategies, all the other words that start with S as we navigate the rest of this season. As always, remember to like and subscribe.
I'm Zach A, aka Trees, throwing shade where appropriate. Don't worry, I grow on you. My bark is worse than my bite. Noel, thanks for being our first guest. You were fantastic.
Absolutely. Noelle A, children's lit, and it's late, so I need to go read my baby a bedtime story. Likely hair love.
Hair love.
Perfect.
And that's the word we're going to end today with. Hair love.
Hey, love.
Love you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week as we talk about the floor on the
Down, low,
other way.
low, down.
We're learning, people. We're still learning.